Now that we've discussed some of Richard Sherman's bio, we're going to look at the incident that occurred on January 19th, 2014, and we'll go into some detail on that. So, on January 19th, 2014, the Seattle Seahawks defeated the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game. The Seahawks were able to hold off a late game drive by the 49ers thanks to the play of their all pro cornerback, Richard Sherman. Sherman had a tipped pass intended for Michael Crabtree up in the air, and Malcolm Smith was able to intercept the pass to seal the win for Seattle. After the game, the sideline reporter for Fox Sports, Aaron Andrews, went over to interview Richard Sherman. What follows has been a very public blight on Richard Sherman's career.
Let's send you down to the field and get Aaron Andrews.
Joe, thank you so much. Richard, let me ask you the final play. Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or you're on the center for you real quick. LOB.
All right, before... And Joe, back over to you.
All right, well, we saw.
So that was the incident that occurred on the field. Very public, very loud, very boisterous incident that happened in front of everyone who was watching Fox Sports at the time. So I found this case to be really interesting in terms of the clock because if you referred back to it, 12 o'clock is when the incident happens, and 3 o'clock is when everyone kind of finds out about it. So basically, this incident occurs within seconds going from 12 to 3 because it's a live TV broadcast. People are watching. You got millions of viewers at home tuning into the NFC Championship game. They all want to come in. They all want to hear what the cornerback who saved the game has to say. And instead of getting a play-by-play commentary of what happened during that play, they get a very emotional, raw video of Richard Sherman going after Michael Crabtree, who he has believed has attacked him in some way, but everyone else is completely left in the dark on the incident. So in the end, it just ends up like looking like Richard Sherman is kind of throwing a tantrum for absolutely no reason after winning the NFC Championship game. Now, what's interesting is his incident is now out. Everyone sees it. It's out in the media. So how is he going to react to it? And that's what we're going to watch next is Richard Sherman's reaction.
Hancock Bank and Whitney Bank.
Excuse me.
About all that, what do you not regret about all of that?
Well, there isn't much about it I regret. Mostly I regret the storm afterwards. The way it was covered, the way it was perceived, and the attention that it took away from the fantastic performances from my teammates. And that'd be the only part of it I regret. The way it's covered. It is what it is. What I said is what I said. I don't say I probably shouldn't have attacked another person. I don't mean to attack him, and that was immature, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I regret doing that, but I just felt like my teammates deserved better, and I have to apologize to them, and I have.
Your brother has said that Michael Crabtree was rude to you at an event this past summer, a charity event, that he shunned you, he wouldn't talk to you, and that you said at the time, all right, I'm going to show him on the field. Is that the background of all this?
Yeah, that's the short version.
Is that the clean version?
And we're gonna keep it clean.
All right.
And I try.
Did it get nastier than that?
We're gonna keep it clean.
Okay.
And I said I would keep it on the field. I would show you on the field, and that's always been my thing. Everybody's like, oh man, these guys push you in the face. You're doing this, doing that. I'm not gonna fight anybody and embarrass myself, embarrass my family, embarrass my organization like that. There's no need for that. There's no need to be that kind of barbaric human being. But on the field, we're playing a very barbaric sport. You can do as you please, and that's when I take all my animosity and all my anger and all my frustrations out on the field. with disciplined football, sound football, it takes a different kind of person to be able to turn that switch on and off and be able to step into the ring or step on the field and be the intense, incredible, focused, and kind of, I guess, angry human being that you have to be successful in those atmospheres.
How do you do it?
You have to have that switch. You take it off. You treat them totally different, and that's why sometimes it crashes and doesn't go all so well, because if you catch me in the moment on the field when I'm still in that zone, when I'm still as competitive as I can be, and I'm trying to be in the place where I have to be to do everything I can to be successful on the football field and help my team win, then it's not going to come out as articulate, as smart, as charismatic, because on the field I'm not all those things. I'm everything I need to be a winner.
We've seen this. We've seen Deion Sanders and Terrell Owens and Bart Scott, and you can go much further back, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali. We've seen guys get excited in the moment, make big pronouncements. What interested me so much about what happened to you was the reaction afterward, the way it mushroomed, and the fact that race so quickly became involved.
Yeah, it was really mind-boggling. It was kind of sad that the way the world reacted. I can't say the world. I don't want to generalize people like that, because there are a lot of great people who didn't react that way. But for the people who did react that way and throw the racial slurs and things like that out there, it's really sad, especially that close to Martin Luther King Day. You're not judging a guy. I'm not out there beating on people or committing crimes or getting arrested or doing anything. I'm playing a football game at a high level, and I got excited. But what I did was within the lines of a football field. What they did was an actual reality. They showed their true character. Those were real comments, not in a moment, not in a, they had time to think about it. They were sitting at a computer and they expressed themselves in a true way. And I thought society had moved past that.
So after watching that video, you can kind of see that at the beginning of the video, we talk more about the interview itself and how he kind of displaced the blame. Like, he didn't really take credit for the fact that he reacted poorly in the situation. He went ahead and said that he was sorry for attacking Michael Crabtree, but he still doesn't really take full responsibility for his actions, in the fact that he blames it on a prior incident between the two that no one knows about. That, if you don't bring that up, then it's just more he said, she said kind of stuff. Like, it feels like he's pointing fingers away from himself. Like, it's not my fault that I reacted this way. It's their fault. It's still, it's the fact that I'm an emotional player on the field that he also mentioned. It's more excuses in a way, where he can say he's not responsible for his reaction in the interview, and he can kind of feel like he's not responsible for the whole interview itself. It's more Crabtree's fault, or it's more the fact that he's an emotional player and he wasn't out of that emotional state yet. It just kind of felt like he just pushed aside the blame there and didn't really take any of it on himself. The end of the video really, with the fan comments and everything like that, I don't feel like has a lot to do with the branding of himself, because that's other people's reactions. So really, he can't change what other people said. He can ignore it. He can address it like he did and kind of just move on from that. At this point, he really needs to, I feel like he needs to do a little bit more than what he did in just saying that it was somebody else's fault. You're a grown man, take responsibility for your actions and kind of move on. People will respect you for owning up to making a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone's human. It's just own up to it, get through it, and move on.